the webinar for today. So just in case that you might have to leave, that's no problem. And just basically you can continue watching the webinar on your own accord. Okay, my topic today is 5 simple ways to profit consistently from trading. Before I actually go through and ahead and with the presentation, just to have a little bit of an idea. Who here are basically they're beginner traders? Say been trading less than a year, or want to know more about trading, want to get into a systemized type of trading, or want to be a professional trader. So who are basically new to the trading game?
I am.
Okay, so Andres, you're new. Paul, are you new? Richard, Stacy. So just to give me just a little bit of an idea where you guys are at, or also where I'm at.
I've been trading for a few years.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you. And what do you trade by is it Richard?
Mostly stocks and Forex.
Awesome. Okay, beautiful. All right. Trade futures. Can you please do me a favor? We're going to do a little bit of an exercise here, as much as I can in terms of the way how I do things online, because I know it's a little bit of a challenge not to see you guys. But just one major question: what are your expectations for this workshop? What would you like to achieve? So I'll give you guys a couple of minutes just to write down on a piece of paper what are your expectations based on this webinar or this workshop, and what would you like to achieve. So regardless whether if you're new to the game or you're currently trading. Fantastic. Thank you, Stacy. Great. Thank you for sharing. Alrighty, just so now the quick question is, what are your expectations based on this workshop, and what would you like to achieve? Hi Brian, if you're just joining us right now, I'm just basically asking you a little bit more, giving me a bit of an idea within the group on who's new or who's been into the trading game. And now my question is, just for a quick question, what is your expectation with this workshop, and what would you like to achieve in this workshop?
Well, I've been trading stocks for a few months, and basically I just want to get more information on, so I can improve my skills.
Perfect. Okay, trading stocks. Okay, all right, no worries. And how's that going for you, Brian?
Oh, it's inconsistent. I have good days and bad days. Some days I make money, and other days I lose money. But I think I just need to get a little more information. I need to improve my entry strategy and my exit strategies for day trading.
All right, perfect. Okay, so what I'm going to do today, or what I'll be saying today, maybe some of you might not like what I'm about to say, so I'm going to apologize in advance. And the reason for it is that basically all I'll be giving you is actual facts based on experience and the experience of other professional traders. If you received my email, basically I just came back from the Chicago Board of Exchange last week, and then to speak to floor traders who either are traders for big institutions or trading their own money based on a hedge fund type of environment, and also speaking with brokers who's been seeing more than 10,000 basically clients. So the statistic is actually is pretty big in terms of people losing money in the marketplace. And there are certain things that I'll be showing you, that I'll be sharing with you, that trading is not a get-rich-quick scheme. It is a profession, it's a challenging profession. At the end of the day, it's still pretty much a game. And the question is, how can you play that game? And also, at the end of the day, it's also a reflection of who we are as an individual. All right, now my topic now is 5 simple ways to profit consistently from trading. very simple, but can also be very challenging. Because since we only have about 2 hours today, I won't be talking about trading strategies. That would be our different topic, but mainly strategies on how you can start off. Either you're new to trading or you are a novice trader, even an intermediate trader, that you can apply with your own trading. Alrighty, as part of disclaimer, I'm not here to give you an advice, but just to give you good information. Today, nothing about equities or stocks or futures or even currencies, but mainly information that will leave you basically thinking pretty much after this workshop. Alrighty, here's a quick question. What challenges are you currently facing with your trading? I know a couple of you shared in terms of your way how you're trading, inconsistencies. So I just want you to write down what challenges are you currently facing with your trading. So if it's inconsistencies, what are those? Is it entries, exits? Is it psychology? Is it risk management? Is it money management? What is it based on what you can just see 180 degrees that's in front of you, based on what you believe are your current challenges at the moment? All right, so I will give you about a few minutes, and then we're going to discuss this. So great, Paul base says pulling the trigger. That's actually one of the elements, the fear of execution, pulling the trigger before and after trading, even well during this really pretty nothing much, but when the time comes, the fear to execute is actually a big issue. Okay, great. So what else? Let's go. Okay, support resistance levels. So what challenges are you currently facing with your trading right now? If you're new, what challenges are you facing at the moment in terms of finding an education? I know that in terms of the trading industry, pretty much everything is the same across the board, and what makes me different and makes me unique with others is simply there's a special ingredient in order to be successful in trading. I just don't give a system out. I need to find out first what are the challenges of that person, the 6 inches between their ears. So in other words, the belief system, value systems, their habits. So, and then to create certain good habits before teaching a system. All right, taking profits consistently when not to be greedy. Okay, great. Biases to the direction. Not fully believing the system. Look for a different system with a few losses. Absolutely. Actually, I'm just teaching someone just right now. I just actually finished teaching one client. He's very smart, quite a lot of systems, and also learned different systems from everybody, but he doesn't believe in it. And that is actually an element or a factor on why traders not always, but they lose because they don't believe in the system. Sometimes, though, they don't believe in themselves. So if they don't believe in themselves, then how can they believe in the system as well? So it's going to be a bit of a challenge. So I need the best conditions to optimally enter a trade. Good. Good. Nice. Excellent. This is what I love. Thank you very much for actually sharing. This actually makes it dynamic or makes it interactive between you and I. Second question, if there is one thing you could change or do differently with your trading right now, what would that be? So if there is one thing you could change or do differently with your trading, what would that be? Because if you're going to keep on doing the same thing, same mistakes over and over, where do you think you can see yourself 6 months from now, 9 months from now, 12 months from now, 3 years from now, if you're going to make trading as your business? Okay? So if there is one thing you could change or do differently with your trading, what would that be? I'll give you guys a couple minutes. Okay, let's see what you guys have got. Unmute all. Right, Paul says not having a bias to the market direction. Brian says learn to be a little more disciplined in my entries and exits. Absolutely. Discipline is actually a challenging thing to do, especially with virtue of integrity. Integrity for me means that if you say you're going to do it, make sure you do what you say. And without integrity, you won't be able to have discipline. So I like to see an upward sloping equity curve. A loss is okay, but the general profit trends need to be positive. Otherwise, you're wasting your time and money. Great. To have a ratio of more wins than losses. Now, as a peak performance trader coach, I also have a coach. She's not a trader, but she's a hypnotherapist and an NLP practitioner. And the reason for it is because we can see 180 degrees that's in front of us, but we can't see the 180 degrees that's behind us. The 180 degrees that's behind us are simply mainly through the eyes of your coach. So if you want trading as a business and you want to win consistently, it is imperative to have one, imperative to have a coach. Now if you're new to the trading game, it is imperative to have one that knows the trading game and at the same time know someone who would be able to help you psychologically as well. Because our cup will, it can get empty, but sometimes it can also get full. Now once it's full, the question is how can you empty that cup, right? All right, great. Thank you very much for sharing your answers. Okay, let's move on. Part of the reason why I was asking you both of those questions is that there's one emotion in trading, not just fear and greed, but the emotion of regret. Regret is the third powerful emotion in trading, the shoulds, the coulds, the woulds. If only, right? If only I executed, I would have made X amount of money. Oh my God, I can't believe I did that, you idiot. So these are all the things that we as individuals, human beings, is sometimes that if we don't take action within the way how we do certain things, so we don't take full responsibility, then we're going to have regret. So regret, to define it objectively, is a feeling of sadness, repentance, or disappointment over something that has happened or done before. Also, expectation. We like to expect. In trading, what is the number one thing that we always like to expect? To win. Can we win all the time in trading? Yes or no? No, absolutely. Why? Why can't we win all the time in trading? Beautiful. Nothing is ever certain because of the future. The future is always uncertain. Now, if the future is certain, just imagine you have a crystal ball, and that crystal ball will automatically tell you, hey, you better enter Apple. You're going to make $1,000 with that trade. Hey, you get in with E-minis, or you get in with the pound against the dollar. Then everything will be boring, right? Then everything will be 100%. Everybody will be billionaires. The reason why people trade is because of the adrenaline part, the uncertainty part, the challenging part, the variety, because it's exciting. Now, if you don't have a certain structure, a certain plan, now baseball players, what are their batting averages? Is it 80, 90? Is it 100? No. You can see there's 0.2%, 0.3%, 0.8%. How about basketball players when they make shots? How about golf players? How about tennis players, right? So these are the things that traders always experience because they want to win all the time. But if you just have a good risk management strategies, even if you have a 50-50 win-to-lose ratio, but if you have a good risk management, you will win by the end of the month. You're going to win, right? If you have a 2-to-1 reward-to-risk ratio and a 50-50 win-to-lose ratio, you are going to win. I was asking actually floor traders, like say this guy who has his own proprietary trading firm in Chicago. I asked him, I said, out of your traders, what makes the person who wins consistently or who makes money consistently compared to those who don't? He goes, well, that person had mastered risk management. And I gave a smirk because that if you really want to win in trading, he said, I want you to master risk management. All right, let's talk about the facts of trading. It is a fact that 75 to 98% of traders are unprofitable and almost certain that most traders will lose all of their capital in the first 3 years of trading. When I wrote the book, Why You Could Be Destined to Fail in Trading, How You Can Avoid It, for 3 years, actually I wrote the book in the span of three years. One is to find certain research what are actual factual evidence in the marketplace based on people who lose money in the marketplace. 2, what really causes a trader to lose money. And it's kind of interesting. So if you have a copy of the book, I want you to read and do all the exercises. There's a lot of homeworks in there, like it's pretty much a book and a workbook that will prepare you prior to learn how to trade. The planning preparation is important. Now, FXCM, I'm a currency trader. If you go through the FXCM website, which is a leading currency broker, they have to, each and every broker will need to give out and disclose their profitability and unprofitability trade, like in terms of clients winning and losing. FXCM, you can see here last year, first quarter to the fourth quarter, between 26 to 31% of profitability. And unprofitability is between 69% and 74%. That's a big number. 2011, 2010, on average, about 25% are making money, 75% are losing money. 2008 was a bit bigger, between 28 and 30% of currency traders are losing money in the marketplace. Now, based on my research, though, 95% of traders have issues with their mindset due to emotions, hence the inconsistencies. Floor traders told me, not just with one floor trader, but the majority of the floor traders that I spoke to over the floor, that 98% of futures traders lose money. This is based on Chicago Board of Trade, right, a CBOT. On a CBOE, where options trading based on the VIX and based on the S&P, and also brokers who are basically working there, told me that 95% of equity traders and option traders actually lose money. And they've seen more than 10,000 clients, right? And then I asked them, I said, if there's 100, then those 5, what do they do? 2 of them have a background, used to be traders, either trade in a big firm or big institution. 2 basically have an educational background, so they learn how to trade properly. 1 has been trading for so long that, based on persistence, he learned from his mistakes, and that person is at the same time their partners have a job. So in other words, the pressure is no longer there. Right, Terry Odin, you can Google this guy, Terry Odin. Also, he's actually from Berkeley Business School, and part of his research is to find out what is the success rate of traders and what did they do based on 65,000 accounts from one brokerage firm. So from what he stated, what he summarized, 1 is that traders were buying stocks that had recently fallen substantially in the 6 months prior to buying. So in other words, they buy way too late. These are your normal mom pa's or someone who is not educated, or either that or they listen to news. 2, there are lots of stocks to follow, and a lot of traders jump into stocks that have sharp moves or a lot of media attention, hence CNBC, Bloomberg, MSNBC, and so forth. 3, momentum traders jump in on the biggest gainers and bargain hunters, pile in on troubled issues. In other words, they follow the crowd and do not have a trading strategy. Lastly, traders had a strong tendency to sell the wrong stocks. Odian said that traders strongly prefer to sell their winning investments and hold on to their losing investments. Even though the winning investments they sell subsequently outperform the losers they continue to hold. Traders do not like to admit that they have made a mistake and sell a losing trade. They much prefer to sell a stock at a profit which makes them feel like a winner. As a result, traders cut out the good stocks and keep the poor ones. So the ego mentality, the 3-letter word EGO, at the end of the day when we're trading, we cannot have that ego. As much as we can is we need to trade based on pure objectivity. Objectivity means that if the market is telling you to buy, you got to buy. If the market is telling you to sell, you got to sell. You cannot put in based on your perception and opinion within the marketplace. Just because of your own personal belief, they will eat you. They will take you. You will lose 100% of the time. Now, Forex for News, as a currency trader, here's also another one. So you go to forexfornews.com. They made a research and took 400 traders based on profitability by time frame. So they found out that traders who trade less than 1 hour, so in other words, scalpers, momentum traders, day traders, the profitability will be inconsistent. In other words, they don't make money with time frames of less than 1 hour. 1 hour and above, 4 hours, look at that. By the time you're looking into the 4-hour chart, daily chart, and the weekly chart, the profitability increases. And I know this for a fact because I used to be a day trader. I used to trade 50 or 100 times a day. I used to trade stocks. And at times I make money, at times I don't make money, and it gets frustrating. You know, the pressure, imagine the amount of emotion. And then through my trading psychologist, I said, you know, well, you're an athlete. It's like, you know, how many times a day do you train? I said 3 times a day, 6 days a week. This is prior to a competition. Then she asked me, I said, well, then what happens when, just imagine now you're at a competition. What happens now? And then basically I said, well, you only have one shot. Either you win or you lose. And then she goes to me, why won't you do the same with your trading? So what you're trying to achieve here is that you're trading 50 times in one day. It's like you're training 3 times in a day just to get the adrenaline, just to get that shot. And I said, oh, that makes sense. And so I changed the way how I traded. So I moved from day trading and became a swing trader. From an overnight trade, 2 to 3 days, sometimes it can go to a week, sometimes it can go to even a month. So from a swing trading environment, became more of a trend follower. And that's when I made the most money after losing everything in 2003 and changing it to that type of style of trading. So it is true from what I've heard from professional traders during my amateur days, the lesser you trade, the more money you make. And I'm kidding you, it is a fact that the lesser you trade, the more money you're going to make. That's where the money is. To be honest, it's not through day trading. If you don't have a high frequency type of algorithmic type of trading in your house as a retail trader, you will lose. If you're not trading at the floor, New York Stock Exchange, CBOE, CBOT, you will lose. So I'm not here to discourage you, but I'm just here just to tell you the actual facts from what I've found for the 15 years as a trader, as a full-time trader, and also with the expense of other traders, professional traders. All right, so that's why it's imperative to know your personal behavior, your style of trading, and I want you to master that. In other words, based on your personality profile, there's 3 things that you should know. One's what we call conscientiousness. Conscientiousness means that you're a type of person who could follow certain rules, a structure, who has the responsibility, the reliability. Next one is what we call neuroticism. Neuroticism is something based on your emotions. Either you're highly neurotic or lowly neurotic. Highly neurotic is someone who cannot handle their own emotion. So someone who gets fearful automatically, they won't be able to handle it. So if a trade's going against them, some of them will not take the responsibility and look at the trade to close the position, so they will avoid it, what we call the avoidance. And lastly is based on risk. Either you're a risk averse or a risk taker. Risk-averse traders who are highly neurotic will be day traders because they cannot leave their trade overnight. So if they leave their trade overnight, they can't sleep at night because the fear factor is way too strong. A person who's a risk taker, lowly neurotic, who will be able to handle their emotion, and highly conscientious are traders who are mainly more swing traders and trend followers. And the reason is because they can leave the trade, they won't micromanage the account, and they just let it be. And even if it goes against them, they're okay with it. Why? Because they take full responsibility of the trade. Hence, they can move forward, right? So very important to know your what we call the 3-dimension of your trader profile, or what type of trader that you're supposed to be. A day trader, a swing trader, a momentum trader, a trend follower, right? Or even a position trader. Now, based on those statistics from our base that I've shown you, I created the mission to create the possibility of transforming traders through education, inspiration that will make a difference in their lives through discipline, integrity, excellence, and self-awareness. I added these 4 keywords, 4 keywords, because they're important when it comes to trading. So even if I touch one person's life, then I've done my job, and at least My job and my purpose is that hopefully one day that 95 will decrease to 90, to 80, to 70, to 75. Yes, I know there are also a lot of good educational centers out there that has the same motto, same mission. You just have to be careful that, please, if you choose to do this and you want to learn how to trade, don't buy systems online. You got to do it properly. Trading is not a get-rich-quick scheme. It takes time to master. It's like being a doctor, being a lawyer, or any type of profession. Right now, the million-dollar question is, how can you win and profit consistently in trading? That is the question that traders always ask me, but how can you do it consistently? Okay, it's easy. The action is more of a challenge. That's where we are always going to fail, is through the act. We can say it. It's easy to say something. It's like trading, right? Everything on hindsight looks good. But once you're in the trade, there is one thing that we cannot control, is the future. You don't know what the future holds. Nobody does, not even Goldman Sachs. But in terms of information, though, institutions like Goldman Sachs will have that information before ahead of anybody. But there's one thing that Goldman Sachs won't be able to tell, is natural disasters like earthquakes, what happened in Japan, right, a couple of years ago, tsunamis. This will affect the markets, terrorism. So anything that is natural, this is something that we can't be able to control. Information, on the other hand, institution will have that resource, and hence they can manipulate. That's why I don't trade stocks anymore, because stocks is highly manipulated, whether we like it or not. At least in the currency world, because such a big amount of volume, the amount of people trading, it is less likely that it could be manipulated. But in any type of trading, there's always going to be manipulation. But some will be more, some will be less. Alrighty. As an athlete, my philosophy in sport and in trading is the same. Trading in sport, I believe, is no big difference. So if you can see here, different athletes, once a year, people will always want to be part of one event, which is now the Olympics. Every 4 years, people will train, will prepare, will plan for one goal, to win a special event, which is the Olympics. They either have what it takes, they either have the desire, the passion, the commitment, the motivation to win, or nothing at all. There's actually one movie documentary that I highly recommend for you to watch. It's called Usain Bolt, The Fastest Man Alive. It's actually available on YouTube. It's free. It's on Netflix. You don't actually need to buy it. Watch it. That relates to trading 100%, guaranteed. Everything that we see based on athletes, when we see someone winning, they think that it's easy for them, right? But what we don't see is the hard work in between for getting from point A to point B. In trading, it's also the same. The more work that you put in, the more hard work that you put in, you are going to be rewarded based on the result. The result of winning is just simply a reflection of the work that you put in. So if you keep losing all the time, then that means then that maybe perhaps your preparation and planning, your skill set is currently lacking. It needs more work. It needs something more to be done. Unfortunately, these days, everybody wants to make money. Instant money. I want to make money right now. Not tomorrow, now, right? So that we call it instant noodles, right? Everything instant. We want everything right now. All right, keep moving on. Let's take professional athletes as well, professional sports. MMA is currently very big in the market. Boxing is the second biggest sport. And these guys, they train on a daily basis for one major event. Either they win or they lose, and if they win, they make a lot of money. If they lose, then they get a little bit or a portion of the money. In trading, you all have one shot. Either you win or you lose. Depending, unfortunately, when you're losing part of your equity, part of your capital. But if you win, you add into your bank, you add into your capital. However, in sports, if you lose, at least you make a little bit of money. Okay, let's compare that now to you. What are the odds do you think you're going to win against these guys? If you're not well prepared and you're not physically fit, 0, right? That's the probability. Okay, let's take these guys. Take Goldman Sachs, look at the floor traders. What are the odds do you think you're going to win against them? With the amount of skill that you currently have at the moment, do you think you can win against them? With your current experience, with your current skill set, what are the odds and probability you're going to win against them? Okay, maybe sometimes, okay, lose more often than win. Absolutely. You know, there's a probability you can win against them, but the probability of you losing is actually going to be higher, right? Why? Because they have everything. They have all the resources. Look at them. Look, they can see order flow. They can see supply and demand. They can see based on emotion. They can see who's buying, who's selling. As a retail trader, you can't see jack shit. Sorry for my language, but it's just the way how it is. You see a two-dimensional chart, you're second-guessing where the price is going to be, either going to the upside or going to the downside, is going to remain neutral. And then if it goes to the upside, then you hesitate. Why? Because there's going to be a lot of self-doubt because you're unsure. When there's no confidence, because you have a lack of information, this causes fear. That fear causes self-doubt, whether you're going to go in or not, and then if you miss out, then regret happens, right? And then the vicious cycle will keep on occurring. These guys, on the other hand, they have everything. They can see it. They risk. They know the amount of risk. They have all the resources. In the marketplace, I don't know if you are aware, there's what we call a specialist. There's a market maker. A specialist is the one who's creating the spread, who's creating the actual price itself. Likewise for the market maker. Market makers, they make money in both directions. Did you guys even know that? That they can make money. Doesn't matter if they go long or they go short. They're the ones making the market. So within the spread, regardless whether it goes up or go down, they will make money. So in other words, they're already an advantage. You as a retail trader, on the other hand, you won't be able to have that information because you're not in the flow. So the question is then, how can we have that high probability of winning against them? And this is also we're going to talk up shortly. Okay. Now, is there really a difference between the two? Well, there is nothing. There's no difference. But there is one factor that we cannot control in trading and sport, is that there is no certainty that you are going to win. When we used to compete a lot, we train for the love of it, we train for the challenge of it to go to the next level. We want to see whether we can really accomplish our goals or not. But there are no guarantees that we're going to win. Now, when you're trading, do you think there is a certainty that you're going to win? Even if traders like Goldman Sachs, yes, they have everything in them, like in terms of resource. At least they have the probability of still winning. However, there are no guarantees they're going to win too. I've met floor traders who lost $500,000 in one day who used to trade on the floor. Oh yeah, there's a great documentary that I highly recommend for you to watch. It's called The Pitch and Floored. Okay, there are two documentaries I highly recommend for you to watch. These are basically floor traders and pit traders. So prior to the introduction of electronic trading globally, at the CBOE, CBOT, there used to be about 10,000 traders. Actually, one guy's telling me, man, we used to save our spot, and it was so tight that you can't even move. Now, being there last week, half of the trading floor is empty. The equity option side is there's no one there. There's only a handful of pit traders on the VIX during that time. Maybe, yeah, you can count around maybe 20. On the S&P side, there's probably 50 to about 100, right? But it's not as it used to be. And now, based on the documentary, they were actually sharing their experience that electronic trading is a lot of BS, is because they can't see anything. So one of them is actually sharing and saying, like, you might as well go to Las Vegas and bet all your money at the casino, because it's almost like gambling if you're looking at the chart. For traders, they have charts, but most of them don't have indicators, and the reason is because they see order flow. All they want to do is see the order flow, and they look at the chart to see a trend. So, depending on your system, if you have too much indicators, man, you're all going to confuse you. That means that you don't know one thing: price action. Price is so important, and if you don't know supply and demand and price, you're going to be in trouble. Right, so that's what I'm basically saying, because all indicators are all based in price anyway. All the indicators are also based on supply and demand. Right, moving on. Do you have any questions, by the way? So if you have any questions, let me know. I'll unmute you, and we can discuss a little bit more. All right, moving on. So why do traders lose money? One is because of lack of preparation. So don't use any indicators. Without the use of indicators that is the most basic foundation of trading, but it can also be the most complex. Indicators are good for novice and intermediate traders, just to give a little bit of the boost. However, do not trade solely based on indicators. You need to trade based on price, based on supply and demand, and use the indicator as an extra boost that will give you confidence in your trading, if that makes sense. Okay, right. Lack of planning, lack of preparation, lack of trading knowledge, lack of trading skill, lack of trading experience, lack of emotion control, lack of self-awareness. Okay, these are the 2, 4, 6 major ones on why traders actually lose. Now, there's a school in Massachusetts somewhere. I know for sure it's at MIT, but there's a school somewhere in the East, and they made a research based on retention rate. Now, if you go through a lecture-based workshop and you want to learn how to trade, your retention rate is only 5%. If you're reading a book, your retention rate is only 10%. Now, if you have something that's audiovisual, like what you're currently doing right now, right? You're seeing, you're hearing, you're reading a little bit. If you're writing notes down, then perhaps you will get approximately 20 to 30% of retention rate. Now, demonstration, based on demonstration, if you are showing me something, you're demonstrating, then your retention rate is 30%. If you're in a group, so if trading is a lonely profession, if you don't have a support group, you're going to be in trouble. And the reason for it is because, like I said, you only see 180 degrees that's in front of you, and it will be very subjective. To be objective in trading is that if you have a group of people who sees the same thing, then that is very objective. So it is imperative to have a group of traders who are positive, who also knows the same system like what you're using. At least in that sense, you will have the same opinion, and you're not going to be in disagreements, because once you have a disagreement with another person, now that's subjective. That means that one will win, one will lose. That's the art. That's the beauty about trading. Now, practice by doing 75%. Hence, if you're new to the game, I highly recommend, please do not paper trade. Paper trading is only used to get your platform up and running, just to get familiarized with the platform. It's like driving. Once you get the keys, you still have to drive the car. Now, before driving the car onto the road, you need to be familiar with the dashboard, where your mirror is at, is it set into your peripheral vision, and so forth. Trading is also the same. Now, if you're demo trading, the subconscious mind detects what's real and what's not real. It knows. In actual fact, it cannot distinguish between reality and unreality. I'll give you an example. You know, dreams, when you're dreaming, is it amazing that sometimes when you wake up like, whoa, how come it was so real? Another example is this. I just close your eyes and I want you to see it in your hand, this lemon, this nice, beautiful, yellow, ripe lemon. It's in your hand. I want you to smell it. What can you smell? The citrusy, sweet smell. And now just imagine I want you to cut that lemon into half, the juices are flowing, and you can see the aroma, and actually the aroma floating into the air, and you can smell it. Nice and sourly sweet. You squeeze it, you put it, basically mix it with water, you drink it, it tastes refreshing. Open your eyes and see how your palate, right, your tongue almost like you're getting watery. That's your subconscious, because your subconscious cannot detect what's real and what's not real. Hence is why paper trading doesn't work. Anyone can come up to me and basically can share their system and can say, hey, I made 100 grand, 200 grand using this trading system. And then if you ask them, is it paper money or real money? If they say paper money, then forget the trading system, because anyone would be able to make money when there's nothing on the line. But once you put real money on the line, everything changes, right? Because depending on how you define money as a belief in terms of the attachment, the more you're attached to money, the more you're going to have challenges when it comes to trading. Hence, losing. Nobody wants to lose money, especially if you worked hard for it. If you make money, everybody's happy. You lose money, no one's happy, right? Practice by doing through real money is very important. Teaching others, immediate use. So once you've mastered something, I'm not going to lie to you, ever since I started teaching, my profitability increased by a minimum of 30%. I know one of the audience over here is currently one of my students, increased her probability of winning based on consistency by a minimum of 30%, right? So in terms of learning pyramid, it is imperative to know this if you are currently novice or intermediate or even new to the trading game. If you want to really learn how to trade, you need to have everything all here, from the lecture-based all the way to immediate usage. Okay, let's do a quick exercise. You should have pen or paper right now, because since the very beginning, we've been doing some exercises. Okay, so let's do a quick exercise where you take out a pen and a paper, and I want you to pick up the pen with your dominant hand. Okay, you guys got it? If you do, either say yes, just type in Y. Okay, great. Alrighty, here we go. I want you to write your signature. Good. Okay, that's pretty quick. Alrighty. Now I want you to change hands from the dominant to the less dominant hand, and I want you to do the same. Write your signature. What's the difference between the two? Totally guarantee you with the hands that's very dominant, you didn't even think about it. You just wrote your signature, scribble through it, nice and perfect. With the less dominant hand, you actually struggled with it, right? Because you're thinking. Now, in trading, it's also the same. At the very beginning, you're using the side of your brain that's less dominant. And then once you've mastered something, you're going to use less, right? So, the brain works so in mysterious ways, right? You have your left side, you have your right side. Now, there's 5 different stages of learning in the trading world. There's 4, but I added 1. Okay. Milton Erickson actually was also one of the pioneers of psychology. Basically stated there's 4 different stages of learning. But I added 1, and I believe in trading there's 5. There's one we call the unconscious incompetence. You don't know that you don't know something. So if you're new to trading, why you're here is because you're seeking more information, the things that you don't know. Now, in the trading world, on the other hand, there is one thing that, when I said earlier, the future, right? The future is going to be uncertain. So if you don't know what you don't know, your fear factor will be huge. Okay. Now, if you know something, this is where your conscious incompetence will come into play. You are now aware that you're incompetent at something, hence you do something about it. So, if you choose to learn how to trade, either later on, probably the next step for you is to get in contact either with me or somebody else and say, hey, I want to learn how to trade. Why? Because you're not conscious about it. However, you're still incompetent because you don't know what you don't know, but you know that you need to learn. Number 3 is what we call the awakening moment. You address that there is something is wrong. So when a trader who's learned how to trade and they're trading on average 3 years on average, and they're trading and there are a lot of inconsistencies, one day they will wake up and they say, well, this is a lot of BS. I know there's something needs to be changed. And that change is me, because I know the problem is not about the system, the problem is actually me. Hence why teaching someone today, the guy's been trading for 5 years, inconsistent, creating system after system, and finally realizes that maybe the problem is not the system, the problem is him. And we started talking more about the psychology part, and voila, it turned out to be that definitely there's more issues that he needs to clear out, right? Once that issue has been accepted, being acknowledged, and you accept that the problem is you, this is where you can move on to the next step where the conscious competence will happen. You develop a skill in that area, but you have to think about it. This is like you're writing your less dominant hand. You know you can write, but you have to think about it. And hence it's scribbly, probably can't read, probably it's ugly. So traders who's trading a little bit more longer and have that, they develop a skill, but they still need to think about it, and still the inconsistency is still there is because they haven't mastered it yet. Probably perhaps they are not aware of their inner belief still, or part of the inconsistency is the belief that they can do it. So in other words, the belief once again. 5 is what we call the unconscious competence. Unconscious competence is something that you're good at it and it now comes to you naturally. Hence, with your dominant hand, you write your signature, you didn't even think about it because probably you've done more than 10,000 times. There's actually a great book called Bounds. Okay, highly recommend that as well for you to read. Researchers have found that in order to master one skill, it takes 10,000 hours. Does it mean that you need 10,000 hours in order to master trading? Maybe, maybe not. But if you have a coach or a mentor that can guide you, that can correct, give you all the shortcuts, then you wouldn't need 10,000 hours, right? So to be in that state, you want to be a consistent, profitable trader, you need to be on this level, the unconscious competence. That when it's time to buy, it's time to buy without thinking. Everything is about reacting. All right, does that make sense to everyone? So depending on where you're at, I want you to have a look at it right now. I'll give you a few minutes. Where do you think you are right now? Which states? If you're saying you're number 5, then you shouldn't be here. You should be doing something else. You should be trading, right? But here, 1, 2, 3, 4, you need to define where you're at. All right, cool. Are you guys still with me? You still enjoying it? Yes or no? Cool. Great. Moving forward then. Would you really like to win consistently forever in trading? Well, the question is how? Okay. The trick to it is that trading success is 100% mindset. It is not within the system. You can have the most lousy system, but if you don't have the mindset, you can have the most perfect system, but if you don't have the actual mindset itself, you won't be able to press the trigger. You will lose, guaranteed. And the reason I know this for a fact is because as not just a peak performance trader coach, but also as a coach at Stanford University, in terms of basically Taekwondo, I took this from, there's a great book called Winning Forever by Pete Carroll. He used to be the coach, football coach for USC, and now he's the coach for Seattle Seahawks, unless he got traded, right? But he stated very well, because this is actually the key to everything. I'm going to give you the actual, the key to everything. You want to really know and how do you want to win forever? Here. Performance is the key. I'm going to say that again. Performance is the key. If you cannot perform within the day, you will not make any money. But how can you perform? One is that you need to have the belief, the confidence, and the trust that you are going to win. Knowing you're going to win. Winning and losing shouldn't be the main focus. The main focus is the performance. If you can't perform to your best ability, regardless whether you win or lose, you're a champion. But if you cannot perform, then there's something that needs to be changed. Part of your environment is that practice is everything. The environment to be part of a group of traders who are positive and who are also successful. So in other words, you need to assimilate yourself with traders who also can make money. How can you make money if you're assimilating with someone who doesn't make money? How can you make money if you're assimilating with someone who's teaching you, who don't even know the system, who don't even believe in their system, and don't make money? You know, it doesn't make sense, right? To practice, I believe in practice makes perfect. That perfectionism creates excellence, right? So when you're practicing, do not look as well in your trading in terms of the mistakes of what you've done. Why did I do this? Why did I lose? Rather than looking at the why, I need you to look at the how. How can you make your trade a better trade? Your homework, in actual fact, after this, I want you to look at your trades. Look at the trades that you made money consistently. Look into the process. How did you make money? Based on your performance. Were you being meticulous? Did you follow each and every rule that you set for yourself? Did you follow the rule of the system? What did you do? And then look at the trade that you lost money with. Compare it to the trade that you made money on. And then I want you to differentiate between the two. What was the difference between the winning trade and the losing trade? So if the losing trade, you weren't being meticulous and you didn't follow each and every set or every rule, then make sure that the next trade is, hey, I see that. If I'm being meticulous, I'm being disciplined, I make money. Then it's just a logical explanation to consistently keep on doing that. Now, however, also look into the trade that each and everything that you've done, you were very meticulous. Why did you lose? At the end of the day, it's got nothing to do about you. You just have to look into it and just basically bow down to the market and praise the market and basically say, hey, you won today. I acknowledge that. Congratulations. Move on. Right? Your central theme is that you need to always compete. You need to have that competitive edge. You're either competing or you're not. Because in trading, remember, trading is a game. Either you win or you lose. The question is, what gives you the right to be competitive against the other person at the end of the trade? Then that will give you the answer. So when 1 is that I'm motivated, 2, I'm disciplined, 3, I know that I'm smart and I know I can follow certain rules, right? I know I'm confident, I know I'm focused, I know I have everything. In a relentless pursuit of competitive edge, you need to also create a philosophy. My philosophy is that you need to do things better than have ever been done before, because if you don't do that, then you're going to remain stagnant. I believe that we're here in this universe, in this lifetime, for a certain reason, for a certain purpose. Everything in this lifetime is based on learning. And the reason if it's learning to go to the next level, to be the best of who we can be as an individual. Because if we are already perfect, then what's the whole point of living? Right? And that's where people get bored. In trading, I actually was telling one client today, so if I give you a system that has a high probability of winning, that can make money, that make you money consistently, once you start making money consistently, what are you going to do with it? Are you going to tweak it once you get bored? So, at first there was a big pause. Then he goes, no. So he now knows that if he starts making money with it, then what he has to do is to look into his writing, because that is also his other passion, that will fulfill his emotional need. Right? It is also important to know our emotional needs. What are they that can fulfill us inside out? Beliefs is so powerful, or they're so powerful, and you need to know your belief system, what's limiting you and what's supporting you. In the trading world, on the other hand, it is important to respect the market. It is important to believe that trading is easy, because if you're trying to say yourself trading is hard, then trading will be hard. Then if that means, and if trading is hard, then how can you make money? You won't. Also, I believe that there's more trade to come, hence to be abundant. But if you keep hoarding it and you're married to one trade, then how can you go to the next one? So people will hoard or will hold into their trade, and they will marry their trade is because they want to be right. They're into a losing trade, they're going to wait until it becomes positive. But I realize that trading is always going to be there. When did the market open? Do you guys know? When did it begin? The 1800s, right? Even in this lifetime, even when you're gone, the market's still going to be there, right? So it is important to know when to stop. That when the market is telling you, said, hey, get out, you get out. If the market's already giving you some amount of money, the question is, are you going to take it? Take it. Put it in your bank, right? Because it is imperative to know why you're trading. What's your purpose in trading? The style of trading is also trade with enthusiasm. Trade smart. Don't work hard for it. Work smart, right? Working hard is someone who's looking there into their computer screen 8 hours a day, 6 hours a day. Now, and then all of a sudden, then you ask them, said, why are you trading? Well, I want to have the freedom. Then I said, really? You want to have the freedom, but you're looking at your screen every hour, every minute for 6 hours? So in other words, it's still a job for you. Then you don't have the freedom because you are being instilled with the markets. Trade objectively, not subjectively. So in other words, do not put your ego or your opinion based on what the market is telling you, right? Stop being right. And please refrain from that egotistical being righteous as well, right? Trading, actually, through trading, I've known more about myself through trading than anything else. So I have certain rules. The rules are you need to be meticulous, always put a stop, be responsible, and then follow your rules. Question is, what are your rules? You need to set your own set of rules. One of them could be that if you're a day trader, what time in the morning you should be at the markets. If you say 6:30 and you wake up at 6:30, you're too late. That means you have to get up at 5 in the morning Pacific Standard Time, or 9:30 Eastern Standard Time. Well, that's when the time market opens. So in other words, you need to be at least be ready to rock by 9 o'clock. It's like going to work. You know, if Goldman Sachs hires you as a trader or someone who work for an institution, if you don't rock up, man, they will sack you like there's no tomorrow. Same thing. This is your business. Okay. Number 1, 5 simple ways to profit consistently in the marketplace. Plan, plan, plan. Planning and preparation. Abraham Lincoln said that I will prepare and someday my chance will come. If you don't prepare, you won't be able to make it. Planning is important. The question is, why do you really want to trade? If you want to trade because it is going to be just a hobby, because it's giving you the thrill, please don't do it. Don't trade. Okay? That is my biggest advice and recommendation I can give you. But if you say to yourself, I want to trade, it's because I want to make money, to have the freedom to do what I want to do, then that's a different story. Right. 2, what is your purpose in trading? 3, what is your vision? What is your ultimate destination? Where do you see yourself 3 years from now, 12 months from now, even 6 months from now? So if I'm going to ask you, if you're going to write your goals at the moment, where do you think you can see yourself 12 months from now? So today is the 16th, that if we're going to meet again online, July 16, 2014, is it interesting? We've passed 6 months, we're already half of 2013. This year actually went fast. 2012 went even faster. Time is ticking. So if you're not going to do anything for you to change within your trading, I guarantee you 100% nothing will change unless you act upon it and do something on it, right? Okay. Lastly, what is your mission in trading? So these are the things that you need to know, part of your planning, because the why is your internal motivator. So in other words, I'm going to share with you what happened today. I asked the guy, he said, okay, your purpose, or why you want to trade is because you want the freedom to spend time with your family. So prior to meeting me today, he entered a trade last Friday. He left the trade overnight. Sunday, he made money. The thing was, he closed half position, but he knew that he should have closed all of it. So my question to him is, why didn't you take it? Why didn't you close all the positions? And he says, oh, I don't know, blah 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 blah. So at the end of the day, it is actually now the fear of success. That's basically what I found. But nevertheless, if he relates based on why he's trading is to make money, I guarantee you he will take that money. So in other words, if you're trading and the market is giving you $500, $100, even $10, even $5, but if it doesn't and you don't take it, it's almost like you rejected the market, right? I don't want you, but the market is saying, hey, take me, okay? So it is important to know why you're trading, because that's your internal motivator. All right, I'll give you guys a few minutes to think about this. Write down basically your answers, why you want to trade, what is your purpose, what's your vision, what's your ultimate destination, what's your mission, which should take you less than 5 minutes to answer everything. All right, and then we're going to discuss it, and who would like to share, that would be great. Okay, I'm going to mute myself. Alrighty, great. I can see some answers now. Very nice. Turn part-time income because trading is interesting. Okay, good. Support my family to replace my income. Great. So those are your internal motivator, right? In order to motivate you to keep learning how to trade or to keep trading. Nice. Part-time income, good. Eventually full-time, fantastic. Nice. All right. Since this is being recorded, if you want a copy, by the way, of this, please email me. Actually, email me here. Trader.com. Okay. And it is also actually really good just to do these exercises. And at the same time, please, if you haven't have a copy of my book, either buy it on Amazon or Amazon or Barnes and Noble, or email me as well, and I can give you a signed copy. And definitely it will prepare you. Alrighty. 2. What are your goals in the next 30 days, 6 months, 12 months? Please write down. I want you to write down 5 goals you want to achieve for your trading for the next 30 days. If you're new to the game, then at least an example would be, within the next 30 days, I'm going to learn how to trade currencies, futures, stocks, or options, right? In the next 6 months, based from what I've learned from Ronaldo, I would have at least put in a trade, consistently making money in the next 6 months or even 12 months. Then once you write down a number, What would that be? If you're saying a part-time income, then at least be making $100, $200 a week, or $50 a day, so depending on that. Okay, so write down 5 goals you want to achieve for your trading. Okay, missions to teach others, good. In actual fact, that's actually a really good mission. The more people will teach it to other people the right way, the better. Alright, great. Okay, I can see here as well. Arthur says 20 pips per day. Andrew says 30 days, I'm going to make about $250 a day, and then within 12 months to double that. Fantastic. How about the rest of you guys? What are your goals? Why are you trading? Okay. Finance is a good strategy that will help me make money consistently. Good. Fantastic. Okay, very nice. Moving on. There's a proper way of writing a goal. I call it the SMART method. It's actually, you can find this actually online how to create it. SMART means S for specific, measurable, achievable, results-oriented, time frame, and it also has to be in the present tense. So say, for example, I'll take Brian's goal. By August 16, 2013, I have found an excellent strategy that's currently making me $250 per trade. Through discipline, through commitment, through motivation, with the help of my coach, I would be able to attain my goal. So at least that here, it's very specific, it's measurable, it is achievable, it's results oriented, it's time frame. So your goal now is, from whatever you wrote on your 5 goals, 30 days, 60 days, 1 year, is to strip that apart and make it a little bit bolder, to be more specific, measurable, achievable, results-oriented time frame. Alright, so you can also email me. That's no problem if you need more help or if you want to show me. And if you did it the right way, please do so. You can email me. No worries at all. Any questions based on this in terms of the SMART method? And the reason why I'm sharing you with this is because this is the same thing that I learned being an athlete from coaches, and also being now a coach is also what we do based on our athletes. It is important for them to create certain goals. In actual fact, for my private clients, that when we meet every night, actually every Monday, part of the group coaching is that I want them to write their goals at the very beginning of the week. What do they want to achieve for the whole week? And then we review them the next week and we say, okay, did you meet your goal? If you didn't, why? Then how can you meet your goals? So, and then they have to email that not just to me, but also to their trading partner for the accountability issue. So if you are part of a group or if you have a trading buddy, then it's important to use that trading buddy, because the accountability is actually going to be very important. It's so easy to, for us to forget, right? Yes, we're all adults here, but sometimes it's important to have that accountability part. All right. Next is number 2 is important for you to know your opponent. What do I mean by that? When we're trading, we're trading at Olympic level, whether we like it or not. Why? Because we're trading against other traders out there who are professionals. So, in other words, I want you to have mastered a trading vehicle. Like, in other words, it's important for you to know what type of vehicle that you're going to master, either Forex, futures, stocks, and options. The number one issue actually that I've seen after pretty much 10 years of actually teaching is that when someone wants to learn something, for example, they really want to learn stocks, and then stocks not working for them, well, I'm going to learn options then, and options not working for them, then futures, and then Forex, and all of a sudden they quit. When they're almost there, I've seen some traders where the consistency is there, and then they fail, and then they give up. They're almost at the end, at the top of the mountain. They can always just about to see everything, and then they quit. Right? So it is important just to master one thing. Unfortunately, I did this. I started from options, level 2, directional buy and sell, and then through options I traded stocks, and then through stocks I traded Forex, and through Forex I traded futures. Then all of a sudden, now I know which one that I want to trade is Forex and futures. Stocks and options, they're combined, but they're only for longer term. So, for example, I have Cedar Group shares that I've bought since 2009 for $1, and all I'm basically doing them is I'm writing them. Each and every month I get a premium, so I'm renting out the stocks. So that's the strategy I use for stocks and options. I don't trade it. Like in terms of buy and sell, it's mainly more of a position type of trading. So for longer term. Now I trade Forex and futures. 80 to 90% are currency trades. 20 to 10% are futures trades for hedging. Like futures mainly use the index futures, so the YMs, the NQs, and the S&P, but mainly the YMs and the NQs. And then with Forex, at least I can just monitor 9 different type of pairs, not like stocks where you can monitor about 1,000 or even 5,000 of them. Then plus you have ETFs. It can be very tiring, right? Because there are a lot of things you need to look at. Sector rotation, you need to look at the index, what's happening, then you need to look at the macro fundamentals. Then if you're a type of trader who wants to use fundamentals as well, then you need to look at the micro fundamentals. So there are a lot of things to know. You also need to know who you're competing against. These are your institutions. These are your hedge fund managers, banks, professional traders, and so forth. So to defeat your opponent, what process and strategies are you going to use to defeat them? So each and every, because remember, Forex is totally different to futures, totally different to stocks, different to options. I disregard options. Forex, futures, and stocks are at least are grouped in one. Options a different ballgame. It's a derivative, right? So at least if you know how to look at charts and you know price action, supply and demand, Forex, futures, and stocks, it's actually easy. Like trading is very easy. The only question is which one that will suit you. The reason also why I love trading currency is because it's 24, almost 7 days a week. I can monitor the trade. In the stock market, once it's closed, you're done, right? The thing can gap to the upside, can gap to the downside, depending on whatever report. Wednesday, Bernanke is going to talk. When some trades will be halted, either it will gap up or it will gap down. So it all depends, right? At least in the Forex, gapping is very minimal. It's unlikely. You can only gap actually on the weekend, but at least that gap won't be as much as like in terms of stocks. Futures, I like trading futures, but the problem about futures is that the margin requirements, if you leave it overnight, is kind of expensive. All right. How are you going to win consistently? So the strategy is actually very important, part of what you're trading Forex. Now, Forex, there's certain things you need to know if you're trading Forex. You're trading futures, there's certain things you need to know. You're trading stocks, there's certain things you need to know. Options, there's a lot of things you need to know. So within the whole 4, which one will suit you if you're working full-time? If you're working full-time, you're trading stocks, forget it. Right, because you can't be able to monitor them while you're at work. What if you're in a meeting? Now, if you're day trading, what if you have to be at work at a certain time? And it takes a certain time to a certain time when it comes to day trading. What if you're not a morning person? So you're already at disadvantage. Futures, yes, they're 24/7, but the question would be here is, do you have enough capital as well in order to trade futures? Unless with Forex, you can start with a small capital whilst you're learning. Now, if you are a night owl, then it's great. If you are a morning person, it's awesome. So any time of the day, you can trade, right? In terms of risk, you can manage the risk. You can close your positions anytime. Right, so how are you going to win consistently is important. So here is another question. Do you want to be a club champion, a state champion, national champion, world champion, or an Olympic champion? In terms of the mental aspect, it is imperative to know based on your mindset on where you want to be. If you want this as a part-time job and you want to make money consistently, then which part that you need to compete all the time? To be honest, to win consistently, you need to be in a state of an Olympian. Why? Because every time you put in a trade, you're trading against Olympic traders out there, Olympic athlete traders. But in order to start off with, it is important to be consistent as a club champion. The way how I see it is this. You learn how to play a sport, and then you start competing at the club level. You show consistency at a club level, then you go and compete at the state championships. You show consistency, then you go to the national championships. And then from national championship, you go to world championships. And world championships are going to be Olympic, or the Olympic Games, right? This is also similar to trading. Club champion is, I will put in the Forex, in the currency markets, you're trading the micro level. State championship, national championship, you're in a mini account. Now you're trading in a world level, an elite level, an Olympic level. This is the standard account. The number one problem, number one flaw, here it is. I'm going to give it to you guys. The reason why rookies, novice traders will lose in the first 3 to 6 months of trading is because, one, they want to learn advanced trading strategies, and automatically they want to compete at a world and Olympic class level. They will never win. Right? Because if their experience and skill is on a club level, how can you go into a world and Olympic class level if you don't have the experience nor the skill? The market will take you. They will eat you. That is the number one problem. So if you're a new or a novice trader, you're trading less than 2 years, even 3 years, you have to do it right. You need to learn how to trade properly, learn the basics, and then keep improving your skill. It is similar in the martial arts world. It's like someone coming up to me and they say, hey, Ronaldo, can you teach me black belt level stuff? I'm just going to laugh, right? Unfortunately, in the trading industry, education is not being regulated. It's not like being a doctor or being a lawyer where you need certification. First, you need to, if you want to be a doctor, to be a lawyer, you need that certification. In the trading industry, anybody can want to learn how to trade, even from a book or even DVD. There is no set of certification. Anyone can open up a 50,000 account, 20,000 account. And then do you think they expect that they can win consistently? Hell no. Why? Because their skill set is on a basic level. It is a white belt level. And then all of a sudden they come up, say, I want to learn Fibonacci's. I want to learn this. I want to learn Elliott wave theory. I want to learn that. These are all advanced stuff. I want to learn hedging strategies. I want to learn options. Options, in my eyes, is a black belt level stuff. Learning the Greeks, the alphas. Man, there's so much stuff to learn. Now, if they can't even know how to read price, then what's the whole point of knowing the advanced stuff? It's useless. If they can't even show consistency in a club level, how can they maintain consistency in a world-class level? Zero, right? So it is imperative to know first where you're at. That's why when someone comes up to me and they want to learn how to trade, there's no way I'm going to put them in the lines then. I'm going to tell them, hey, open up a micro account, $500. But Ronaldo, that's only 10 cents. I don't care. Because if you can't show consistency through your own results, in a small amount of money, then how can you show consistency on a big number? So in other words, if you're not well prepared to be receiving $10,000 per trade, then can the market give you that? No way. You will lose it. Right? So it's important to know that. I can't stress it more than enough. 3, know thyself. It is important to know who you are as an individual. Means when I say who are you, it's not like this. So Ronaldo, who are you? Ronaldo is a loving father of 2 who provides to their family. No, not that. What I mean by this is that Ronaldo is a person who can make money consistently in the marketplace through integrity, discipline, and excellence. Why? Because that's who I am, based on discipline, integrity, and excellence. So I'm defining who I am as the being, part of my inner part, right? So the question is, who are you as an individual? What are your beliefs? Beliefs mainly is defined as the truth. If you created a belief and you believe that to be true, then that is a belief. The question is it a limiting belief? Is it a supporting belief? I mean, limiting beliefs are phrases like trading is hard. Making money in trading is hard. Trading is only for the elite. Trading is only for the professionals. Those are limiting beliefs. Supporting beliefs are trading is easy. I can make money in any market direction. Right? So those are supporting beliefs. What are your values? Fear. If fear is a value, then how can you state to yourself that you're going to be a consistent, profitable trader if you're fearful? In order to be a consistent, profitable trader, you need to have values of confidence, patience, discipline, motivation. So you need to define what your value systems are. What are your emotional needs? Emotional needs are internal needs that we need internally. There are 6 emotional needs. One is what we call certainty. Everybody wants to have the certainty. The next one is variety, or the challenge, part of the uncertainty aspect. Third is love and commitment, or basically acknowledgement, being significant, growth, and lastly, contribution. Contribution is something where you've mastered something, you're contributing something to society, right? Is your personal behavior and profile incongruent to the system you are using? If not, then that is going to be a big issue. Righty. Lastly, are you competitive enough to have the trading edge? If you don't have that, don't trade. Save your money, enjoy it, do something else. 4, get educated properly to increase your skills. How can you increase your knowledge? How can you increase your skills? How can you control your emotions of fear, greed, and regret before, during, and after trading? Okay, let's talk about increasing your knowledge. Books. What are advantages and disadvantages of books? Books are great, but if you're reading about trading systems, please don't do it. Why? Because the market is dynamic. A great example is Market Wizards. Early 2000s, mid 2000s to late mid 1990s to late 1990s. That was one of the bull runs. Anyone can make money in the marketplace. So the author who interviewed traders on the bull run, if you notice, when the market is very bullish, everybody's a hero, everybody's a guru. But when the market is now changed direction with high volatility, 2000 all the way to 2003 was very bearish. 2003 was the new change of the bull run all the way to 2008, and then actually 2007 and 2000, late of 2007, 2008, there was a bigger correction, right? And then 2009, March, all the way to where we're at right now, it's very bullish. You will see, based on the trend, everybody is a hero, everybody is a king when the market is very bullish. When the market is bearish, man, my emails will be full. Why? Because when it comes to trading systems, everything is good on a bull market. How about a trading system on a bear market? How about a trading system in both markets, up, down, or sideways? Seminars. What are the advantages and disadvantages of seminars? I showed to you earlier about the retention rate. They're good, but to a certain degree. Not unless if there's a support group after that, then it's important. Mentor or trader coach, I can't stress more enough, it is very important to have one. Like being an athlete, in actual fact, athletes have a minimum of 2 coaches, right? Depending on actually which school, they have 2 or 3. Excuse me. So if you don't have one, get one. Ongoing education is important. And the reason for it is because there's a plethora of information in the marketplace. And lastly, please, if this is going to be your business, don't be cheap when it comes to your education. I cannot stress it more than enough. Yes, there are a lot of free stuff out there. There are a lot of free systems, cheap systems, but the question is, can it really work? But what if, after that, the support is not there for you either, right? So it's important to have a good education, and like I said, education is not being regulated by the industry. 5 is about balance. Source to be in the zone. How do you maintain balance mentally? How do you maintain balance physically? So in terms of mentally, do you meditate? Do you visualize? Do you see a trader coach based on knowing more about the internal mechanism of your belief system, the layers? Because you see the subconscious and the conscious. The subconscious is like your the hard drive that can basically store and record everything, and your conscious is simply the monitor of what you're looking at me right now. There's a filter in between the conscious and subconscious. So everything that you see, hear, and feel, and you filter that in, and then all of a sudden you make a conscious decision that will create a belief. Either will support you or limit you. The thicker the belief, the harder it's going to be. In other words, the more layers you're going to have, like an onion, then to see its purest form is going to be more of a challenge. In terms of physicality, do you go to the gym? Do you work out? Are you well fed? Are you hydrated? The brain cannot function when you're tired, plain and period. The brain cannot function when you're dehydrated. The brain cannot function when you're hungry. The brain cannot function as well when you're way too full. So the question is, how can you maintain balance mentally and physically? How can you maintain balance spiritually? Things like giving and receiving, law of abundance, right? Ask and you shall receive. All this type, the spirituality aspect. Alan Williams, who's a researcher, and this is from the book The Intuitive Trader, interviewed traders from Chicago Mercantile Exchange, CBOT, CBOE, basically traders Chicago, as part of her research, being a psychologist, and she summarized it in one paragraph, stated that the best traders condition themselves psychologically and physically for success. They have running programs, they go to the gym, they meditate, they're careful about what they eat. In short, they take excellent care of themselves. Meditation actually is very, very powerful and very important. And the reason is because meditation helps you increase your focusness. You increase not just with the focus aspect, but also will increase the visual aspect, which is the third dimension in trading, knowing where the direction of the price is going to be. So the intuitive part is one thing that is actually really challenging to learn and to master, is our intuition. That's also one aspect that it's a challenge for me to teach, is the intuitive part, the feeling aspect. Meditation will help you that increase your intuition. There's a rule that I always give my students, is that intuition will supersede any type of trading rules. Meaning, say an objective trading system, go in price of Apple at $400 a share, stop is at 390, target is at about 450, and then entry was perfect, entered at $400 a share, and now the price is at 430. On the other hand, You know that Bernanke is going to talk. There's also going to be some form of special report based on Apple, and you don't feel comfortable. Something is telling you deep inside that, hey, something is bound to happen. That is the intuitive part that's talking. So as part of that, rather than having your rules set and saying, well, the profit target is 450, you need to overrule that trading plan of you taking the profit 450. Take the profit in 430 because deep down inside something is bound to happen. Always follow your intuition and always overrule trading system. Okay, does that make sense? Okay, it's very important. All right, here's a live trading result. As part of the disclaimer, in terms of the report is not a reliable guide for future results. So to be consistent, it actually is it's there. So you see I have one red, the rest are green, one red, the rest are green. And I just basically took just part of that just to show you that to be consistent as a consistent trader, it is possible. Yes, it took me time in order to get there, and hence is now why I'm teaching others, because I believe there's a certain ingredient. I'm just blessed because it's also part of being an athlete for 29 years that actually helped me in terms of my trading. So if I could just share that to somebody who's new to the trading game and giving them about, or letting them know about the pitfalls, and if they can do that, then I've done my job. One of my favorite athletes is actually George St. Pierre, who's an MMA champion. And he stated that it is easy to be a champion, but to maintain being a champion is a challenge. It's so true. Because once you are number one, number two is always going to try and defeat you, try and beat you. So the trick to it is actually not to think about always being number one. So best to think as number two while you're being number one is because when you're number two, that means you still have that motivation to keep going. Because you have to keep on chasing number one. So in trading, I find trading as a competition. So if I win, that means that I did all the processes correctly. If I lost, then that means either I didn't do it correctly or the market is just way too strong and I just have to bow down. So an equation of a powerful mindset plus a proven trading system equates to a consistent, profitable trader. So how to be consistent? One, you have to have a trading plan. You need to have a trader coach. Two, you need to have a good set of trading rules. Three, you need to know and trust your trading methods and system. Very important. Four, you need to get educated and be competitive. Five, you need to practice to increase your trading skills. Six, you need to control your emotions. How? That's no problem. Actually, I have a workshop on how to do that. Be disciplined, take responsibility, maintain excellence. There is no perfectionism, only excellence, and have a high level of integrity. Here's one thing I love about Michael Jordan, and basically part of when he's trying to promote, in actual fact, this was against Kobe Bryant. And it's like, oh, pretty cool. And that's actually, it's also true in trading. That maybe people let you to believe that trading is easy. In actual fact, trading is easy. So you have to believe that trading is easy. Maybe people let you to believe that if you buy a trading system, you will make money instantly. That, guarantee you, not all trading systems are created equal. Can you also make you money? Some of them will, some of them don't. But at the end of the day, it's not the system. The trick is actually 6 inches between your ears. Maybe people let you to believe that by learning how to trade from a book or DVD will make you an excellent trader. That definitely you won't. Right? Maybe people let you to believe that you don't need to look at yourself in the mirror and that trading psychology is not important. I find it so interesting. If I do a webinar about technical analysis or something about strategy, man, people will come in. That's there's no tomorrow. But if I do something about psychology or self-awareness, all of a sudden the number will decrease. And the reason for it is because they don't know yet, because they just don't know what they don't know. And trading is a journey, and I get that. It's part of their learning, and at one point in time they're going to realize that, hey, it is not the system. It is about my 6 inches between my ears. Maybe people let you to believe that you don't need a coach or you can do it yourself. No, you can't do everything by yourself. You need someone. It's imperative to have someone. Maybe in the end you're in denial and making excuses. Maybe you're using trading to fulfill what is missing in your life. Funny enough, 70% of traders that I meet, that's what they use. They use trading to fulfill what's missing in their life. They don't use it as a business. Maybe trading is not for you, but for the elite. Yes, I believe that trading is for the elite. However, hence there's the however, everyone can be part of the elite if they do it right, if they have the time to do it, to learn it properly, and to have the desire and the passion to learn it. Then they can be part of the elite. Right. Marshall Silver is also one of my mentors, stated that in order for your results to change, you must change. So if you're going to keep on doing the same things today without personal change, where do you think you can see yourself 12 months from now? So if you're going to keep on doing the same thing over and over again, where do you think you see yourself 12 months from now? Okay. Please answer this question because it's so important. So if you're going to keep on doing the same thing over and over, where do you think you see yourself 12 months from now? Okay, I'm going to mute myself and then we're going to discuss it. Okie dokes. Who would like to share? So if you're going to keep on doing the same things today without personal change, where do you think you can see yourself 12 months from now? Ooh, let me unmute. Cool. Thank you, Brian. Thank you, Andres. Very nice. All right. Thanks, guys. All right, so I'm gonna have a risk and money management July 20, actually this Saturday. Based on that, actually, this is one factor a lot of traders are having issues with. So, risk management. We're also going to talk about risk versus reward, risk versus probability, probability versus reward, because there's actually a difference between the two, the feeling aspect of the probability versus reward, and also the risk versus probability. Okay, how to avoid fear. That's 149. Actually, that will be for about 2 to 3 hours, depending on how many questions people may have. So giving some strategies on how to maintain that, even if you have a 50-50 win-to-lose ratio, which you should know your win-to-lose ratio. If you don't know your win-to-lose ratio, just go through your trading platform and then print out a report, and you can see based on that in terms of win-to-lose ratio. And part of that is that you can see in terms of your reward to risk or risk to reward, whether if you're making money or losing money, right? The other one is August 3 and 4 is the Action Taker program from 10 to 5 p.m. It is mainly, I'll be talking more about the currency markets, so introductory of the currency markets. Actually 2 days. The first day is mainly about psychology, so knowing about your beliefs and values and your habits, knowing what style of trader you are. And then on the second day is simply teaching 2 of my methodologies in the currency markets, 2 objective ones. I call it method 2 and method 3. And part of that, you get 30 days of coaching, unlimited coaching, 5 days of the trading, live trading, basically 5 days a week of the live trading class for 1 month, and 30 days of trade alerts. The trade alerts is just mainly a bonus, just to see how the theory actually works in real time, and that if you choose to enter, then at least you can make extra money, part of that, right? That normally costs $3,000, but I'm giving it for you guys for $1,500 for the next 3 days if you choose to take it. At the end of the day, basically, it's really up to you, right? It's basically 50% discount. Right, for those who don't know me, well, actually, people who were here earlier, but you didn't see me, this is me. Hi, I'm actually based here in California, in Mountain View, and I'm a peak performance trader coach. And what does it mean? It means that I've got 15 years trading experience, 9 years experience as a peak performance trader coach, creator of what we call the Be to Have trading principle. I believe that there is a certain ingredient to be successful in trading. First, you need to know the being part, and then the doing is the action part. Having is just the end result. So hence, the money is just an end result of who we are as an individual based on our personality, our experience, or based on our skill and knowledge, right? And then the foolproof. The foolproof emotional flow chart is a flow chart that by the time you execute, there shouldn't be any type of emotion guaranteed or your money back, right? That's how strongly I believe in the flow chart. So from step 1 all the way to step 5, that by the time you execute, there shouldn't be any type of emotion. And if there is, then it's easy. The flow chart will go back to step 1 again, or else you don't trade. And lastly, of course, I wrote the book, pretty much got published last year. I'm currently writing another book, not nothing about the psychology part, but mainly on a technical analysis perspective. I believe there's, it can be improved based on the books out there. So based on price and really how to get in based on institutional prices. And part of that, the book actually won. It was in the finals last year in the Trader Planet, thanks to basically to my readers and to Trader Planet. And basically part of the philosophy is that I have 17 years experience as an elite athlete, competed internationally, Asia, Europe, America. This guy right here in the middle was a 2000 silver medalist, Olympic champion, basically became silver. So I just really showed as part of that, like in terms of what I've established. And through that experience, actually that led me, it's amazing how, I guess, faith or the choices that we make in life. I basically met my wife overseas and I ended up being here in the U.S. I never thought I would be moving to the U.S., to be honest. So, and through that, it gave me a lot of opportunities as well, learned from professional traders, changed my whole system, and basically met institutional trader, basically showed my system and said, I'll get rid of all of your indicators. So I have to start from scratch. And so that's how it all began. And for me to learn price action and to know more, when I lost everything pretty much in 2003, I got more into the human behavior. I wanted to know how successful traders really think, not just traders, but also athletes. So there's a certain element, there's a certain characteristic, there's a certain attitude that successful people actually really do have, which is kind of interesting. So then I got really more into the human development or human behavior. And then part of that, moving here, started training at Stanford. They made me a part-time staff member, and I'm currently coaching over there, and also a high-level coach, coaching the U.S. national team. So the last one, though, was the World University Games, which is currently now being on in Russia. Russia was a bit, sorry for the word to use, but they're stupid because in 2011, Russia won 3 gold medals in Taekwondo at the World University Games, and then for some reason they took it out because the World University Games is actually like the Olympics for the collegiates, for universities. And so I just had the opportunity to coach on a high level. So I use the same philosophy in terms of sport and the same in trading. I totally believe that there's no difference in terms of the game itself mentally. Physically, yes, the only difference is no physical contact, but the mind game is very, very, very the same, 100% actually the same. Okay, and so I work with elite athletes and I work with elite traders. So my personal belief as a personal coach is that I believe that I am the best peak performance trader coach who inspires traders to greatness and help traders achieve success to make money consistently. Notice how when I stated I am the best. And the reason why, as part of my belief, and if I need to see that I am the best, and that means that if I am the best, then I would be able to transfer that and to inspire others as well in order to be the best trader that they can be. I always tell traders that they need to see themselves as the best. They should really be the best. If they can see themselves the best trader in the world, then even better. each and individual have their own physical world, right? And you need to see yourself as the best trader that you can be. Because if you can't see yourself the best trader you can be, you won't be able to survive in the trading world. That's how I see it. And the reason is because you're not competing against, like I said, professional traders out there, or institutional traders, or professional retail traders, right? So it's imperative to do that, to know that you are the best. All right. So what are the two things, or two or three most powerful things that you learned from this workshop? So what were the two or three most powerful things you learned from this workshop? Great. Okay. To have a plan, to set goals, you need a coach, to have a good strategy. Awesome. What else? Nice. Experience as an athlete will help me with trading. Very nice. Brian, what do you do as an athlete? Now we can relate too. Now you will be able to understand track and field and taekwondo. Yes, track and field and taekwondo go hand in hand. Awesome. Very nice. Where are you based, Brian? But nevertheless, yeah, keep in touch. Santa Clara. Oh, okay. Hey, if you have time, come down to Stanford, okay? All right. Well, this is the end of my presentation. Do you guys have any questions? Q&A time. My office, by the way, is in Sunnyvale, so come and visit me anytime. Is 830 Stewart Drive, Suite 121. Okay. So come and visit me anytime over there. And then Monday and Wednesdays is I call it Trader Dojo. So if you are a full-time trader, please come down. We're basically based there, or Mountain View or Sunnyvale. No, it's a Stewart Drive, Suite 121, Sunnyvale address. Okay. I used to be in Palo Alto, but I found much closer, better area for me anyway. Is the base in Sunnyvale. Okay. So Wednesdays and say that again. Monday and Wednesdays is Trader Dojo for 2 hours from 11 to 1. We catch the last 2 hours, so it doesn't matter if you're a stock trader, options trader, or futures trader, currency trader. Then we look at certain setups, or if you need help with your system, then I'm more than happy to help you. So yeah, come down. All right, any questions for me? Cool, we got 7 minutes to spare since this is actually till 5 o'clock. Oh, phone number, yes, 650-390-7104. You can call me there anytime. It's either there, or if I'll be in a meeting, then just leave a message. 650-390-7104. That's also +1. Okay, well, any questions then? Going once, twice? None. Hope you enjoyed it then. I will email this to everyone as well in terms of the recording, so that you can go back and review it. I know with 2 hours being in a webinar, research shows that only 15 minutes is the concentration span of a human being. 5 seconds for dogs, right? All right, then that will be it. Thanks, guys. You have a good one. I enjoyed it as well. Thank you for your interactiveness. I'm part of that. Enjoyed very much. Give you a lot of things. Yeah, definitely. Thanks a lot, Richard. Thanks, Brian. Thanks, Ann. Hi, Manny. Thanks, Andres. Thanks, Lena. And we'll see you some other time. Happy trading, guys.